Right, I'm just going to start off. So we'll just get going because I'm sure there'll be lots of thoughts tonight. So summary of the game versus Bristol Rovers tonight. Yeah, let's just say it was an interesting one. I started to make, and so did Andy, some notes during the first half of the game, and sort of it was just getting dire. And then at half time, I just couldn't be bothered because it was just shocking. I think the fact that we've seen this sort of side start already, and not actually, I thought this was a stronger starting 11. We'll come on to everybody's views in a second, but yeah, at the end of the day, it was just poor. The defence was all over the show. Cooper, was ropey. He was at fault for the first goal, but I think they still looked a little bit unsettled even before that happened. Whitaker had a couple of shots. Tijani had a couple of headers, a bit soft, so both were saved. Sissoko seemed to do all the footwork and deliver nothing, although he did have a shot that rattled off the underside of the woodwork in the first half. Poulsen, I just don't think really showed a huge amount. It wasn't possible really because it just wasn't flowing in that game. And the rest is much, Forshaw and Houghton, Andy will pick up on that. He said in our chat that, the same sort of play is on there, with him and Forshaw and Houghton on the pitch. It was just poor, all round poor. And actually the second half, I thought Rooney will probably ring the changes big time. And the players came out and just carried on the same. There was a little bit of, spurt right towards the end with leading to Hardie's goal, but it was all too little too late. Fair play to Bristol Rovers. They actually did really well. They did the high press as well, like Torquay did to us, and it caught us out on a few occasions. We just sort of lost for ideas. Bundu, another player that I just didn't think mustard much, and he had a one-on-one on goal and decided to be clever and chip it, as Andy sort of said. At the time, he should have put his laces for it. So look, it's one game. It's good that we've seen a negative side and the fact that they can work on that. So I'm not all doom and gloom. I'm not going to sit here and go Rooney out and all that rubbish, as sure some will. It'd be good to get some Rovers fans' views if they're in here tonight. If you want to join us, please request, and we'll bring you in for that. Also, just to give a mention to all our channels before I hand over to Andy and Carl, but we've got obviously our X channel, where x.com/Block9Podcast, the same with YouTube, Block9 Podcast. Obviously, we have the Block9 Podcast TikTok channel, so please like that as well. We appreciate you coming and joining us tonight. I'm going to stop there and say, Andy, over to you, because, I'm just at a loss for words. For once.
Yeah, I just think if we go from back to front, really, Cooper, what was he playing at for that first goal? He virtually passed the ball to Luke Thomas, who actually shot back. He parried it and straight to the former Fleetwood player, Promise. I can't remember his name. I'm not sure. I'm a Sherry or something. I don't know, but anyway, that's only on 8 minutes. And just before that, Tijani's had a header at the other end, which is over the bar, and straight at the keeper. From the back. So Coops, I think his mind was elsewhere tonight because he didn't look like the Michael Cooper we saw tail end of last season. He looked like a player it just wasn't in the game. He made a couple of mistakes. For the second goal, he could have saved that, I think. But if that's someone like I don't know. A top striker going in on the air, then he'll probably save that. I think Hazard would have saved that, to be fair.
Mark is just making the point on Cooper just quickly. His mind's gone already. And you do wonder that. It did seem to look that sort of performance, didn't it?
Yeah, he did look, I agree with you. Cooper looked sort of disinterested. And absolutely. His position for the second goal was terrible as well. I also looked in front of him, though. Dan Scarr in front of him. Not impressed with Dan Scarr tonight, and I didn't go much on Poulsen. I'm not sure how much gameplay Poulsen's had over the summer. Probably not a lot due to the fact of him. And the back forward, until Mumba came on, the back forward looked a bit shaky, really. I thought Galloway had a good game. I'm not going to criticise Galloway. I thought Galloway played a really good game.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree, if you're looking for the positives out of that mess.
Yeah, but in saying that, you said you've already touched on it, Mike. Rovers played the high press, and Scar's not used to that high press. He gets caught out quite quickly, and I think they deserve to win in the end. That's my sort of impression from the back. I can go onto the midfield later on, but I'm going to let Carl have a few words if he wants to have a few words.
Yeah, just want to quickly say
Sean Connery coming on here.
Thank you, Hugo, as well for the gift. Carl, are you there? Do you want to give your brief synopsis, as we say?
I am now. I've just got to say that Philip, my son's joined the chat, so that's him commenting in the comments.
All right, Philip.
Welcome, half of me.
Yeah, fair enough. Good evening. Welcome, Philip.
Picking up on the Wednesday fan saying about, are you feeling positive? I literally am positive, so yeah, but not about the game. Back to what Andy said about Cooper. He looked really, really shaky. Like many fans have commented after the game, I think his head's elsewhere. Maybe he moved just around the corner. I didn't understand some of the passing out from the back wasn't there. He was in two minds whether to hit it long or to hit it short. And when he did make the decision, it was a poor pass, or we kicked it out to touch. I'm surprised Hazard didn't get any minutes in the second half. Maybe you'll get a game. Is it Tuesday we play next, or next Saturday?
Saturday. MK Dons away.
We might see Hazard for that one. I thought the back in general was quite poor. I suppose Galloway, like Andy said, was best of the bunch. Powson probably not fit enough yet to really judge him. Again, with Scar, we know what we're getting with Scar, don't we? He's always going to struggle with pace, and he really struggled with the Bristol front line, who were quite pacey, weren't they? So that's never his strongest point. Midfield was non-existent. Houghton kind of put in a shift of doing the usual kind of sideways, backwards kind of role.
Yeah.
And the attack was okay. I mean, Sissoko was probably the brightest spark in the front line. The first shot he had in the first half was a cracking one off the crossbar.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
that was really unlucky not to go over the line with that one. Hardie was sharp when he came on second half. Sorry, I know he missed a couple, but the rebound he got was a decent strike. Yeah, I mean, there's some plus points there, but it was really, really poor, if I'm honest.
No, I just want to shout out Miss Pretty Green Eyes. Thank you for the gifts. I can see you've gifted some to Andy as well as a grumpy lawyer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I've got some as well.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, so as always, I just think, I mean, Carl's got a bit of suffering a bit tonight, so that's why he sounds like a talking with a bit of a blocked nose. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly go into the comments, just scroll back up. I mean, I know...
Yeah, I just saw Charlie's comment go through there, Mike, help the gash, fair play. I thought they played really well tonight, and they deserve to win, in my opinion. They're a good side, well organised. I didn't know they had like 12. They've made 12 signings through the summer. So Matt Taylor has been really busy. Matt Taylor, the former Exeter manager, has been really busy in the summer, bringing in I think 11 or 12 players. So it's it means business.
Yeah, they all credit, to any Gas fans that are in here. They did play it well. I think, I'm sure they will be, although they got the win, I think they'll be disappointed with some of the chances in the first half that they sort of didn't quite have that finishing edge. But they did put the pressure on Argyle's back line. They forced the errors and the mistakes, which got them, a couple of goals as well. So fair play to them. Marcus saying, is that our strongest 11? If that is our strongest 11, then we have problems. I felt he would sort of start to show his more favoured team. And when I looked at the lineup, besides a couple in there, and I'm probably not even a couple. Well, yeah, Scar and Houghton maybe, the two question marks. I thought, that looks like a strong lineup. So I expected a bit more, a bit like the Cheltenham game, and that didn't really muster. What's your thoughts, Andy, on the starting 11?
Well, the only sort of changes I'd make would probably be Mumba. But I wouldn't replace Galloway. That's the trouble, because I thought Galloway played well. I thought when Mumba came on in the second half, he linked up really well with Sissoko. I like the Sissoko. He looks really classy, but he's trying to be too fancy down. Why don't you just play the ball and pass the ball rather than trying to do all the step overs? And he did do a couple of nice little flicks there. Yeah, brilliant. He can showboat a little bit, but you want to be more direct, especially against teams like Rovers, who are going to sort of hurt you if you don't.
Yeah, it's very much, and thank you, Devon Letts, for the gifts. I just think at what point, hang on, let me just let's just review that approved comment. There we go. At what point will you get relegated this season? Yeah, exactly. But no, we won't. That's just as simple as that. But we'll see. I think it just, the fact that they did change a gear. I mean, Sissoko, I just want to go back to him, he's all the flair, but Rovers handled him well. And, and he got frustrated as well and then made some fouls. You say about Mumba, he had that run down the left where he was all on his own and just couldn't even get past that one player that legged it from the back, from the front of the field back to him to stop him. And it's just like, I just felt there was only a very small spurt of energy after Hardie's goal, but none of them even tried to turn it on.
Charlie, I don't know who your number 3 was, but I was really impressed with your number 3 and his position play. We were caught out in a big style at our left back position, and that number 3 sort of caused us problems all night. Really, there was a couple of crossfield balls, and your keeper was good at kicking as well, and he looked really good against us, running at us and creating chances. So we want him next summer.
I do like it. I do like Charlie's comment. Fair play, you were crap. Yes, we were absolutely. So I'm just going to quickly scroll back through some other comments because everyone. Have a question. Who do you think should be our starting striker? And I can't see their name.
Hardie Tijani, was it?
Yeah. No, Pilgrim's 1886 with Edwards in their profile picture down in Champagne. So, so go on. Carl, that question for you. So, who do you think we should be starting as our striker?
Well, if we're going 4-4-2, it's going to have to be Hardie and probably Tijani up front, I'd imagine. I can't see it being any other combination. Obviously, if you're going to play with the wingers, you've got Whittaker on one side and Sissoko on the other. I can't see him changing it too different unless we sign Dan's, which might still be on the cards if he gets over his injury. In that case, then it could be Hardie and Dan's. I think it could be a good combination because he's a big lad. He's very, very pacey and they could work well together. But I think based on who we've got at the moment, that's probably looking like our favourite front two. Bundu, I don't think it's going to be near it this season. To be fair, he'll be more of an impact sub. But I still think we need to get another defender in. We're still looking really, really, really shaky at the back. I think we've got to prioritise that next as our next signing, unless Cooper goes in and we need a goalkeeper. But there's plenty of work to do between now and a couple of weeks' time, that's for sure.
So Andy, your view on starting striker?
Starting striker, I'd sort of go with Hardie, even though he had a couple of chances tonight. He had a couple of one-on-ones near the end, and he put one just wide of the post. And then he had the other chance straight after, which he scored from, which he sort of hit at the keeper first, but then followed up on the rebound and put the rebound in. So he can do it. So I'd have him up front. Would I have Tijani at this point? He's big, he's a target man, but he had 3 or 4 chances tonight, and he's heading the ball straight at the keeper. He's got the whole goal to aim at. He's heading the ball straight towards the keeper, and it's not. We could have won out 3-4 at half time there, but I don't know. I would put him up there because of his presence, and people don't know a lot about him. But I'd stick with Hardie definitely.
Yeah, I think the sort of Tijani didn't really turn up against Torquay, turned up against Cheltenham, didn't turn up against Torquay, and didn't really turn up tonight. I think MK Dons is going to be interesting in terms of seeing how the season goes. How it might start. I think that's a test of Rooney's management style and how the players react to him. I think will be against MK Dons. Else we might be in for a bit of a rough start. But in terms of my view, in terms of striker up front, if you look at where the goals are coming from, then Hardie at the moment has been hitting them away, and Tijani. But I don't know. It's a little bit. I'm not sure on that one at the moment. Blaz, good to see you again. Thanks as well for the gifts. Hello. Evening, everybody.
There was a comment from Blaz as well, Mike, that we just picked up on. What did we think about Coops tonight? He looked about out of sorts. He improved second half, but first half, the first sort of half an hour, his head was somewhere else.
Am I right in thinking that he stayed on the whole game?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so
I was quite surprised, like I said earlier, that Hazard didn't get any game time, to be fair.
yeah.
But I hope he gets the next game.
Yeah,
90
exactly.
minutes.
That's what I did wonder. I mean, I was trying to do a couple of little graphics in readiness. I even exported it 2-0 until Hardie scored, and I was like, damn, I got to go in and change it again. But so I was trying to sort of keep an eye on it because I had lost interest. It just wound me up. That £10, and as Andy said right at the start when the live kicked off, no commentary either for a tenner, which was pretty poor. But yeah, looking at Marcus has said, aren't we linked to Tickle of Wigan to replace Cooper? Freddie Azaka says woeful. Jack McAllister trying to confirm as well the Dan's loan, according to Repost. I just think tonight I'm just going to have to sort of cross it off and just say, right, I want to see a difference against, MK Dons. I want to see Sissoko be this massive potential that we've been saying he is, in the early spells. The same with Tajani. Whittaker again. I mean, he had probably one decent shot that the keeper palm wide, but other than that, it was a few soft shots I felt from him. Not brilliant again. Andy?
Yeah, I agree with Whittaker. He was sitting too deep again. There was a couple of times we sort of mentioned during the game that Whittaker was back sort of in our half defending and making typical strikers challenges, and not winning the ball and giving away free kicks. So it's like we need Whittaker, if he's going to be playing up front in that sort of role of the 10, then to play up there, not to sort of come back too deep. I know it's good that he came back, fantastic, but we need him up front to pose problems at that end of the pitch. Which I don't think we didn't really trouble the Rovers tonight, apart from the goal. And there's just tame. It's just like a lot of tame chances and shots, and
Just picking up on what MB said in the chat regarding Randall and Edwards. They're both injured. Randall could have been involved tonight, but I don't think he wanted to risk it. He'd probably play on Saturday, I'd imagine. I think we missed Randall in the middle tonight. Missed his energy. Missed his. He's more direct, isn't he, than Houghton?
Who's doing the dishes in the background and playing with some decanted?
No, sorry, it's me on the egg chair in the garden. It might be rattling.
Oh, right. That suits your head, that one, Carl.
Jack McAllister, what were you just talking about? Dan's, I can just about see it through your shirt. I'm like, Dan's also returned from injury, which could make the transfer quicker. I hope so, because we need someone who's going to be more direct with none of the fancy dance stuff. Which there was a ball through to Hardie, and Hardie's through a one-on-one. You think, yeah, come on, Hardie, you're going to put this away. 9 times out of 10 he will, and he put it wide again. Yeah,
well, we still need that central attacking midfielder to even provide for the front guys. Even if Dan's comes in, we're still missing that massive Azad, aren't we?
Yeah, I just picking up on Richard's comment. So, hi guys, I'm not happy with the fans tonight having a pop at Rooney. Was that the fans at the crowd? Have you seen those comments on X, Richard? Because to be fair, while I'm looking at this, I'm not on X, so I will just boot it up on my computer screen here. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know the sentiment. But it's just one game, for God's sake. Get over it. We're not going to play every game really well, and we're not going to win every game. It's as simple as that. Blaz replaced Coop Rushworth from Brighton. Marty Palace should complete signing a Cooper by Friday. Oh, so there's another one. Crystal Palace. On all social media, guys. Yeah, thanks, Richard. Find another Azaz should be a goal in terms of trying to replace him. Don't disagree. Even in those that have joined, I
think that's a good move for Cooper if it is Crystal Palace. I don't think the Sheffield United one is eye-watering, really, especially for his future career. Yes, the wage demands would be obviously a lot better for him, but I think going to a yo-yo club like Sheffield United, I don't think would do him any good. Palace, a stable Premier League club, that will push himself right on and potentially into the England setup one day.
Yeah. Good shout, Carl. Yeah.
Yeah, just looking, just trying to see what comments there are that are crossing the social channels.
Mikey's just asking, will Dan Scar stay and will he play this season?
I think it'll be a
my thoughts on Dan Scar earlier on weren't too good.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Carl. Just on his point there, exactly to be sort of sort of a reliable squad player. Oh God, we've even got a fan here saying can't wait for League One on X. I mean, seriously, it's just people need to calm down. But yeah, just what's this person said? It's only in pre-season at the end of the day, but for me, there's 3 positions that are badly needed: centre back, holding midfield, and a number 10. Just people have to calm down and just move on with it. I tell you what,
I'm guessing that one fan, Richard, is Craig. Is it by any chance?
Yeah, it could well be, couldn't it? Let me just. Let's change the subject.
Hello.
What do we think of the new kit? Let's talk about something else for a few seconds.
Very, very white, Mike.
I just need a beard, and I quite look like Gibson as well. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, it is very, very white. Hang on, that's not.
Don't disrespect Forshaw.
What was that?
Don't disrespect Forshaw.
Yeah, no, don't. What I should do is just use a face swap app, yeah, and just stick Forshaw's face over mine.
You could face swap between Jeremy Kyle and Forshaw.
Jeremy Kyle's my other channel, Carl. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only one game, yeah, absolutely, Philip. Good point there. Make sure you're helping Carl do the dishes, because that's what it does sound like.
No, he's given us the hearts.
Yeah, good, nice one. Liverpool lost 1-0 to Preston there. Fans are not saying that they're getting relegated. No.
I mean, Derby lost against Chesterfield again, didn't they? 3-0. So, I mean, can't see Derby fans sort of calling for their manager's head.
Well,
it's just pre-season. It's a run-out for the players. It's quite hot. So, Rovers are a good side. We had our chances. C'est la vie.
Yeah, and just Torquay were playing Exeter tonight as well, weren't they? I wonder what the score was.
Yeah, I don't know what the score was. I'm trying to find out.
Look while I'm on my phone. But yeah, I just sort of picking up with say a Rooney discussion at the moment. Richard, it'd be interesting to know where sort of that your comment about fans having a go at him. But yeah, I couldn't see much of him because the camera angle. They just focused solely on Rovers in between play and stuff. So it's definitely I think a good time for him to sort of show what he can do. As I said earlier, what can he bring on Saturday against MK Dons? What changes will he bring? How will he get the players to turn those fortunes around? Because the last 2 games, it wasn't just this one really. I know we beat Torquay, but it was a similar sort of game really, where they high pressed and closed us down. Didn't force as many mistakes though from the back 4. But certainly, similar style of sort of play against us. So it'll be so Torquay, Exeter finished 2-3. Okay.
I think we just need to be realistic, Mike. It's just a typical pre-season game. You're not going to get much out of it. There's not going to be goals galore. It's not going to be, players aren't going to put their foot in and tackle. Risk of getting injuries before the season starts in 2 weeks. Most pre-season games can be pretty drab, but you want to see something from the players, don't you?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. I think you make a great point. Players aren't potentially going to want to do that because of the situation. So it was 2-2 Torquay Exeter. Thank you, absolute. Lewis Hamilton 44. Get in, Hammy. Deserved that result on Sunday as well. Not that I don't like Russell, and this is not an F1 chat, but I'm just saying. So I think that was. I think that's a good point. It's just, I think if we've got to see something to sort of know that that can be turned around a little bit, so and hopefully that's being streamed as well, and it'll be another 10 quid to watch that, probably with no commentary, no doubt as well. Any other thoughts, Andy?
No, I'm just thinking of squad and how he might look, sort of line up on Saturday. Do you want my opinion on who I think we should be playing in that team? Obviously, we should have Cooper in goal. I think your back 4's got to be sort of definitely better. Mumba's got to go on the left for me. And then, I don't know about Dan Scar, Lewis Gibson, probably. And then Plagas Werlo sort of would be that sort of 4 there. If we're going to do it at 5, then and have Sorinola in there as well, but I don't know how that works. Midfield, I'd go for Hayton probably, and Saxon early. I'll stick Saxon early up there. He's not a bad little player running up players. And then Sissoko, and then I don't know about Whittaker. It doesn't seem as though he's far in at the moment, is he? He's I don't know if his head's elsewhere as well. It just didn't show it tonight. Had that tame shot, didn't he? So, and then I'd have Hardie up, of course, Hardie up front with Tijani, probably. And that would be my sort of starting 11. But yeah.
I'd probably start Forshaw over Houghton, to be honest with you. Thanks again for the gift, Blaz. I just think in the Torquay game, he did look more composed and calm on the ball and sort of, trying to find the space to make the pass. I do feel Houghton's, and I do like Houghton a lot. I do feel, though, he is one of the players that might struggle with the pace of the game, and the players with like Tijani and Sissoko and that on and Whittaker, it could be more difficult for him. I feel, I could be wrong, but yeah. So early, I didn't think he was great on Saturday. You were suggesting him in midfield, Andy? Were you?
Yeah. Why not? So he's an attacking player.
He's a left back.
If you got your back 4 or 5 sorted out, Saxon Early would be a definite runner up front, wouldn't he? He'd sort of run at players. He's got that about him. He's got that skilled class. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you think? Because we haven't seen much of him. I think you definitely have Ogbeta, who would probably come forward from the back and then play in that sort of bring in that midfield role to feel. He looked okay tonight. Obviously, he had that shot at the end, which I moaned at. I know he is a defender, but that just summed up our game really, because that was a cracking opportunity to draw at level.
Philip's got a good point about Asaka. I don't think he got any minutes tonight, did he?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
I wouldn't change it too much. I would bring Hazard in goal. I think after tonight's performance by Cooper, let's give Hazard some minutes. He needs minutes anyway because it's pre-season.
I tell you what, just continuing on Philippe's point on Asaka, he was my best player against Torquay, and a few other people's views were the same. So it's interesting that he didn't come on.
Maybe he's keeping him for Saturday, and he will give him 90 minutes. I mean, you can't play every player for 90 minutes, can you? So
no, well, you don't want to burn them out. That's true.
I expect we'll see him on Saturday. I will keep probably Hardie and Tijani up front, with Asaka on the wing. Maybe for
we haven't talked about Rand
with Asaka, maybe Whittaker on later on. I think Rands will be back for Saturday. I think he's hinting at he'll be back for Saturday. So I would start him and Forshaw in the middle.
I mean, Marcus is saying Asaka going to start against Wednesday, and it could well be, and he might be just sort of prepping him. We're not giving him another full, sort of game or 60 minutes. But then you've got your Whittakers who played another, sort of 60 minutes. Was he subbed off? I don't think he was he?
I think he did come off near the end, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Right, okay.
I think so.
But yeah, I mean, LD saying Whittaker a one-season wonder. I still don't believe he'll go. I think when we get into the season, noting the point Carl said earlier about players probably not wanting to overcommit themselves in these pre-season friendlies, then it will be interesting, because I think the type of players that Rooney has brought in should really sort of suit and complement Whittaker. We should be able to split a team up on either channel, on either flank, with Whittaker, and then say your Sissoko's and all that sort of stuff, and the players linking up with them. So
I can't see Whittaker being a one-season wonder, because he was with us the season before last on loan and scored the goals as well. So he's not a one-season wonder at all. Definitely not. Don't agree with that.
Yeah, Richard, thanks for popping on. We'll catch you Saturday. We will do possibly on Saturday night. What time's kickoff? Is it 3:00? Was it?
Yeah, 3:00.
Yeah, so if we do, it will be the evening if we can make it. If not, all of us. If not, it will be. We'll try and do it for Sunday. Alfie,
I like Alfie's comment. Yeah, Bristol Rovers fan. We were fantastic. I can't disagree with that at all. I thought they were really well organised, defensively sound. You just couldn't do anything about our goal. But I just thought your attacking, your sort of the way you got at us, the way you sort of got in our faces, suited your style of play. It didn't suit us because we panicked. Mr. Mannery panicked.
I think a lot of people have been poor in the second half of the season, Andy.
Just try not to cross paths. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Andy. Finish.
No, sorry, I had finished actually. Yeah, thanks.
Go on, Carl.
I got there a few seconds too late. Yeah, about MB's comment about Whittaker about being awful the second half of the last season. Many players were awful in the second half of the season, especially under Foster. And obviously, when you're playing Hardie week in week out, Same with Whittaker. They're going to be burnt out, aren't they? We had no options up front last season. And obviously, that's why he's brought in more attackers this season. So hopefully, we won't see a burnt out Hardie or a burnt out Whittaker at the end of the season.
Yeah. No, as Sean said, read nothing into the game. Sort of. Sean, I'll just bring because Sean always contributes. So I'll just bring him in.
He snores.
Alfie,
I remember when Taylor was manager of Exeter. Exeter had a quite high press as well, and they smashed us 4-0 at one season up at St James's Park, and their high press was really good and it caused us all sorts of trouble. So if you're adapting his style of play, then it's going to go well for you this season, I think, mate.
Yeah. Are you there, Sean?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like everybody's like, yeah, I'm just done tonight. So go on then, Sean. You always come on and give us your views. So I'm sure they're not too different to ours. But go on, what's your thoughts, mate?
Just don't read nothing into the preseason games. It's all about getting minutes, fitness, preseason.
Yeah. Did anybody stand out for you tonight in the game at all? I'm assuming you did.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? No, I think.
It's
you saved yourself a tenner. Go on, Carl.
I was trying to see if it was on the stick, but it wasn't.
Oh, what? Can we say that on here? Was it a wooden stick or one of those Amazon ones?
Let's just not mention it at all and move on swiftly. Let's just say I'm sure a few people didn't lose a tenner. Andy and I definitely did. So that's for sure. Let me just have another look in the comments. I thought the wingers who were doing a lot of the skills is a real threat if he is successful in doing so.
Sissoko, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just for me, it just wasn't impressive. But again, it's not a league game. It's a pre-season friendly. So, not going to sort of read too much into that, if I'm honest.
Yeah. It was like Fast and Furious, wasn't it? Rovers were sort of set out really well in the sort of first half and really went at us, got at us. And we just couldn't settle down into the game. We had a few chances early on, but we didn't really settle into the game until sort of near the end, really.
Yeah. Carl, I can see Philippe wants to jump in. Does he actually want to come in and give his views?
Yeah, go on, Philip.
So
you were in the second half, so you got some views.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Go ahead, Phil.
Hello.
Yeah, go on, fire away, young man.
I feel like we were doing it all right in attack, but we were pretty sloppy in defence.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't disagree. Sloppy all over the show, but yeah, definitely that was the unsettling thing because actually the defence wasn't too bad, like I said earlier against Torquay, but it just certainly it was non-existent. Poulsen, we haven't really. I think we might have very briefly touched on it at the start of this, but obviously Poulsen's the latest signing, the full signing, transfer that we've had. So it's it didn't really have an opportunity to show too much, did he? It was hard to try and pay attention to the game too much on all the players. But Philippe, did you notice much of Poulsen when he was on the pitch?
Not really.
No, Carl.
He kind of quietly went about his business. He didn't do anything too wrong, but he didn't do anything that exuberant either. He kind of put a shift in, but we didn't really see much from him or that side of defence, really. It was all down the other side. So I think if he gets more minutes on Saturday, we'll hopefully see a bit more. But obviously he's not 100% fit anyway, is he? Let's be honest. So it's all about getting
I just wonder when the last time he played,
actually. A bit more.
What was that, Andy?
I just wonder when it was the last time he actually played a game, and he's just getting minutes in the tank now. I thought Galloway was probably our best defender tonight of all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, in fairness. I think we're probably likely to see Poulsen play on Saturday again to get more minutes under his belt, in fairness. I think if you're going to try and pick anything out of the game in terms of a player that sort of did all right, then I wouldn't disagree. Galloway was probably that player. Marcus saying our defence hasn't been that good even under Schumacher and Lowe. No, but it'll be good to try and if Wayne's going to do the attacking play, and I think he is, then we've got to make sure that everybody's on ball in those positions as well. I'm just going to do a bit of a sort of shout out on what we're doing and what our plans are for those that are new that have joined us. We've got a lot of people that are live watching us now. Thank you everybody for joining tonight. Craig, politely, I'm not going to bring you in. Just I've seen your message and I've seen your request. So we're going to promote and talk about the games on TikTok. We've got some very reputable podcast channels that are on your X. Argyle Life and the lads, they do a great shout on that. We decided to sort of come on and redo our channel under the Block 9, and we sort of want to do it via TikTok. We feel that it's a different audience, it's a different medium, and there's plenty of Argyle fans clearly on here that like to talk about the Greens. So we will aim to be on pretty much after most games, if we can do on a Saturday night, because we've all got kids and Carl works shifts. So Carl will be on some of our sessions, and on others he won't because of his shift work. But yes, we want to bring you sort of just general chat, relaxed. Approach to it all, give us many opinions and feedbacks from fellow Argyle fans, teams that we're playing against and their fans. I'll always try and stick a little bit of a graphic just to give some visual cues to certain things that we're going to talk about. We will look at certain sort of features. So Andy's calling the Tynan's left foot. So that'll be moments in the game. We'll just mix it up, but we're going to do it a lot on TikTok. But we will share the content and the recordings on our X platform, on our YouTube channel, and all of them are at Block 9 podcast. So you can find all of that on those channels there. Go and like and follow, and where we can, we will try and produce as much content as we can and time allows. So there's a bit of a plug for what we're about to do.
If we can, sorry, Mike, if we can just ask everybody that's on the live tonight to go across and like the YouTube channel, that would be great, just to boost our numbers up to get us closer to going live on there as well.
Yeah, so that's good point, Carl. It's an interesting one in terms of going live, because it's harder to stream using streaming platforms, which we have done before across multiple channels. X now requires you to have a premium account, which is a recent change. YouTube requires you just to have 50 subs, but TikTok, to try and stream concurrently on two platforms, TikTok's more difficult to do that. But we know, and we're starting to build this audience on here, so we will prioritize this as something, but we might take something a bit offline and go and do something different on TikTok, where we can expand a bit and show a bit more features and stuff on there. We'll just see, because we're just here to talk about Argyle and have a bit of fun. Well, unlike tonight. So
CM's requested, don't bring him on, Green Fever.
No, not tonight, as I've already said, Sean. Respectfully, did Cooper play, or is he on his way out? I'm just reading some of the latest comments from Pav. Yeah, I think he probably is, but to play a full 90 minutes is interesting. I don't know what that really tells you. I don't think he would play that much if he wasn't, if he was going, to be honest. Cooper was awful for us, as ITZ has said. He will fit in then. Pav has replied back to him. 3-1 Cleggy is saying Wednesday heard it here first. First game is a real worry with Sheffield Wednesday coming up. I don't think I'm too worried.
I'll settle for a point.
Say again?
I'll settle for a point at Hillsborough.
Yeah, I think a point away from home in the first game of the season wouldn't be too bad. Thanks again, Blaz, for the gifts.
We haven't got a good record at Hillsborough.
But then every record is just history, isn't it? So,
and also a record is there to be broken as well, Sean. So hopefully,
Exactly that. So, let's give a score prediction against. Well, we've got MK Dons next, but let's go to the first game of the season. Yeah, do you know what? I think I'll agree with Sean. Get a point, and we play all right and play well, then I'd be happy with that. Andy?
In honesty, the way we play tonight, I think it's going to be 2-1 to Wednesday. I don't like saying that, but that's what my gut reaction is tonight, unless he gets it right on the day. But I think 2-1 to Wednesday.
Yeah, Carl?
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it will be a draw on the opening day, but I think, we'll see some goals. I think I'll go for 2-2 with a Hardie last-minute penalty equaliser.
Yeah, fair enough. And then, Philippe, what do you reckon? What do you think the score's going to be against Sheffield Wednesday?
I think it'll be 3-2 us.
Oh, hey, you're going brave.
Okay, good shout.
Dad, you need to pit a little bet on that. You never know, you might be right.
You might be right.
Pav is saying 3 points easy and take a life jacket to HMS Rust Bucket. Can you tell I'm a blade? Love it. It's good to get a mixture of views in here. Evening to those that have recently joined us. Shout out to Blaz, who has sent a load of roses, and that always much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, mate. That's really kind.
I think we've only been on for 45 minutes, but I'm sort of almost at the point where I think if we continue, we'll be repeating a lot. So I think, and I'm going to go for everybody just to get some sort of final points in a second, but I think what we might do, Carl, Andy, if you're happy with that, is call it a night in a minute. We've been on quite
I think so.
Andy and I have
all,
been
haven't we?
on quite a lot recently because of we just do enjoy doing this, and I am kid free because the wife and the kids are away until Thursday, so I've had free reign of jumping on here. But we will be on against the MK, and we'll put an event up. I'll do a video and we'll do a post just to confirm when we do that. Once I confirm with everybody. But going to final thoughts, Andy, yourself.
Final thoughts, a little bit lacklustre tonight. We could have done better. We played some nice football early on in the game. Didn't put the ball in the back of the net. It was shot shy and had us towards the keeper. Saying that, second half was better when we introduced Mumba. It got a lot better. A lot more attack-minded, but we still made mistakes, still leaving gaps at the back, which was a bit concerning. I thought their number 3 was excellent. Their forwards were really good as well, so they put us under a lot of pressure. Coop's out of sorts. Hardie took his goal well in the end. He could have had a couple, 2 or 3. But that's it. I think on to NK Dons on Saturday night. I think we'll go up there and win.
I would like to say Devon is green before I say anything else, not red. let's get that right. Know your level, mate. Anyway, as we've covered throughout the whole live, it was very lacklustre. We didn't really hit the ground running with our attacking plays. Very rusty up front, poor at the back, not a lot in midfield. A lot of work to do between now and MK on Saturday. I think we'll see a different game then. I think we'll utilise maybe some more players a bit differently. And MK's pitch is quite big as well and expansive, so hopefully we'll see a bit more direct attacking play with some more end result at the end of it and shore up at the back.
Yeah, hopefully. Philippe, what's your thoughts going into Saturday then?
I feel like if we played like how we played today, I feel like we will lose because we were leaving gaps in defence and our attacking wasn't the best, but it was still all right.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And then Sean, your thoughts on Saturday?
Just hopefully get a result Saturday. I think tonight's results could be a blessing in disguise. So we lost tonight and Rooney can sort out for Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Just for everyone watching, Sean will be paying the £10 to watch it on MK's website.
Will he? What makes you say that? So just my final thoughts and just to sort of on Saturday. Yeah, I agree with Sean. As I said at the start, I think it's a lesson for him to sort of like see what's happened tonight and then how he does get the players to turn it on. Not forgetting Carl's valid point on the fact that it is another pre-season and how sort of much other players going to want to go in. But I think you would expect to see us. I'd be disappointed if we didn't come out and have an extra step 2, 3, 4, or 5 in us. So finally, look, thank you to everybody who's come on tonight, everybody who's also gifted, much appreciated. Pav, we'll look forward to that first game and see what happens. And look, when we come on for the live after that match, I'm sure you will, but please come in and join us and invite any of your other fellow fans on to discuss that game. So that'll be all good. But look, other than that, guys, thank you for coming on tonight. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take it easy, guys. All the best.
Thanks for joining.
Green Army.
Cheerio.